tonight. It's the Philadelphia Flyers continuing their road trip, beginning the California portion here against the San Jose Sharks. Randy Hahn along with Jamie Baker, who's inside the glass. Let's check out this evening's Honda starting goalie. Steve Mason gets the start in goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. He last worked on Friday against the Rangers in a loss. Antti Niemi's been getting the bulk of the work lately for San Jose. This will be his fifth consecutive start in goal for the San Jose Sharks. Set to drop the puck, and we're glad you're along with us here on NBCSN, wherever you're watching on this Tuesday evening here in rainy Northern California, and a puck out of play off the opening faceoff. As we look at the starting lineup, first for the Philadelphia Flyers, Michael Raffl moving up to the top line tonight to play along with Claude Giroux and Jake Voracek, as Brayden Schenn, who'd been up with Giroux and Voracek, slips down to a line with Laughton and Simmons. And now Tommy Wingels for San Jose swings a puck wide of the Flyers net, and Voracek now, who comes in as the second leading scorer in the NHL behind Sidney Crosby. Patrick Marleau, the perennial 30-plus goal scorer for the San Jose Sharks, deep into Flyers territory, playing the body, but the puck moved to the far side. Giroux chops it ahead. This is Raffl, and he can't get any further than just across the San Jose line.
Raffl playing up on the top line tonight, but the one thing that sticks out with this Flyers lineup tonight is the omission of Vincent Lecavalier. The first time he's been a healthy scratch in his illustrious NHL career. He's missed a couple of games in the past with contract dispute, but not because of a healthy scratch.
Matt Nieto, number 83 in teal for San Jose. Now to James Shepard. He gets worked over by Sean Couturier of the Flyers. Shepard playing one to the net. On the wraparound try, Mason got his blocker down and made the save. Nieto keeps it moving into the corner. Ronaldo for Philadelphia, and he'll use the glass to get it out, and it goes over the glass as we go inside the glass with Jamie Baker.
Well, we got a couple of desperate hockey teams. San Jose sitting 10th in the West. The Flyers are 13th. Flyers have been struggling on the road, 0-6-1 in their last 7. They're looking at this California trip to really boost their season, as it did last year. And they went 2-1 on this road trip. San Jose, they had a big win a few nights ago against Anaheim after a 4-game losing streak. They're trying to get on the win another one here at home before they have Boston Thursday and hit the road this weekend in Calgary and Edmonton.
San Jose began the day 2 points out of a wild card spot in the West. The Flyers 7 points back of the Rangers for third in the Metropolitan Division. Philadelphia with 19 points. They are trying to break out of a slump. They've lost 7 straight on the road, and overall right now have lost 4 in a row, including back-to-back against the Rangers home and away on Friday and Saturday, back on the East Coast. And since then, they've made the time zone shift, the Flyers have, and they should be well adjusted here to Pacific Standard Time. They've been in the Bay Area since late on Saturday night and been resting, practicing, and getting ready for this tough grind. The California portion of the road trip that will have them after this, playing Anaheim and Los Angeles before they leave California.
And the cloud that's following this team on the road, because they've been struggling on the road, has actually brought some much-needed rain to the Bay Area. It's rained the 3 days that they've been here.
A wrist shot gloved by Antti Niemi. He'll hold for a face-off in the San Jose zone.
Both teams talking to their coaches and the players, it's the big word is, it's the I word right now. They're talking about inconsistency, and we're going to see a good hockey game tonight, I think, because both teams are trying to be consistent for not game to game, just within the confines of a game for 60 straight minutes, and both teams are really desperate to get 2 points on the board.
San Jose's MO to some degree this year has been they've struggled against teams that they ought not to struggle against. Teams that aren't in the playoff picture have had a lot of success against them. A tip puck to the net, and a nice reaction by Niemi to make the save as the Flyers get the first scoring chance of the game.
Nice job by Niemi going down into the butterfly, taking away the bottom part of the net.
Chris Vandevelde, number 76 for Philadelphia, getting the clear. Big John Scott in his first year with the Sharks, playing it back into Flyer territory. Sharks coach Todd McClellan with his 4th line out on the ice right now for San Jose. Mike Brown trying to keep the puck deep in Flyer territory, but Philadelphia moves it to center ice as it's shoveled in deep by Vandevelde. Down in the corner, a big hit by Brendan Dillon as he took out R.J. Umberger, who's a little slow to get up, and Umberger will skate back to the Philadelphia bench.
I think he felt that in the nose. Take a look at him as he's coming off the ice.
A keep in by Patrick Marleau at the point, sends it back behind the Flyer net. Mason down on a knee, trying to wrist it all the way out, and he did. Marc-Edouard Vlasic gets to it first. Swings it around on the near boards, and Marleau waiting there on this line with Wingels and Couture.
They'll be out there most of the night when the Giroux-Voracek line is on the ice.
Wingels coming off a career game here on Saturday when the Sharks beat Anaheim 6-4. Again, testament to San Jose's success against top clubs. They've beaten Anaheim twice. They've beaten LA. They won in Tampa on a recent road trip. Braun with a wrist shot for the Sharks, and that's caught by Mason.
Well, to that point, Randy, if you look at where teams are in the playoffs right now, the Sharks this year are 6-5-1 against teams that would be in the playoffs if they started today, and they're 5-5-3 against teams that aren't. Obviously, Philly isn't, so San Jose needs to be on their toes, not sit back at all. Todd McLellan, meanwhile, he's going with the same lineup as he did last game. You see Scotty Hannon right there with Irwin.
San Jose had a 5-1 lead on Saturday night here against Anaheim in that game. And then the Ducks, led by Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry, not surprisingly, engineered quite a comeback. They cut it to 5-4 before San Jose got an empty netter to seal the deal 6-4. But it got a little hairy there for a while for the fans here at SAP Center, not to mention the coaching staff on the San Jose bench.
Todd McLellan addressed that. He said, you know, we'll take those learning experiences when we win, especially in regulation against Pacific Division rivals.
Wayne Simmons now for the Flyers. One of the forwards struggling of late. A quality wrist shot and a save made by Niemi. We have a penalty call coming up here, and we'll wait to see where it's going. It'll go against San Jose.
I think that happened in the neutral zone.
San Jose penalty number 15, 2-minute for interference.
Francois St. Laurent, the referee, barking out the call.
You can see right in the center ice area, James Shepard just moved to his right a little bit. The Flyer went down. The back referee calls it. And the Flyers power play, 7th best in the NHL. We get our first look at that.
This power play brought to you by Hardee's. As Jamie Baker mentioned, Philadelphia ranked 7th, 22% on the power play against the San Jose penalty kill. That's a little better than middle of the pack, ranked 13th. Off the draw, it comes back to the point. Mark Streit to Giroux, and the tip at the front of the net by Simmons went just wide. Now Voracek back to the line. Streit with the back pass to the middle, and again deflecting. As Giroux plays it back, Simmons tried to backdoor it in front for Braden Shen, and the Sharks with their first clear.
Nice nifty little pass from Pavelski to Marleau, who iced gets a change for the Sharks. Meanwhile, the Flyers looking for that tip, redirect tip in the mid-slot area. Sharks will have to keep an eye on that.
Here's Voracek, second leading scorer behind Sidney Crosby in the NHL beginning this day. Brent Burns, number 88 for the Sharks, trying to move it out. He'll get a second chance here, and now the Sharks 2-on-1 shorthanded. Couture shoots, glove save by Mason, as Logan Couture had Tommy Wingels on the left side, but took the shot.
Logan Couture scored a shorthanded goal last game, one of the 2 goals that he had. That's a good scoring chance. A broken up play just inside the Sharks blue. A nice pass from Burns. And a good defensive play. Taking away the pass, allowing Mason to come out to the top of the crease. A good glove save by Mason.
San Jose went 22 games, the first 22 games of their season without a shorthanded goal, and now have 2 of them in the last 3 games. Flyers with their second power play unit out here with under a minute remaining in the penalty to San Jose's James Shepard. Here's Sean Couturier for the Flyers. Up top, Andrew McDonald playing it wide to the right side. A shot blocked, drops at the front. Back to Couturier, off his skate to his stick. Couturier down low behind the net, gets it back. Now up top, it's McDonald. Andrew McDonald, that shot deflected, hit Marc-Edouard Vlasic of the Sharks. Kept in by McDonald, and the Flyers work it back on the wing. Here's Couturier, and he scores! Flyers. A power play goal for Sean Couturier, and the Flyers take a 1-0 lead.
Well, the second power play unit for the Flyers. And Couturier with his first goal in 11 games. Just a quick shot that eludes Niemi on the short side. Look at that backhand pass from McDonald across the slot, though. Great backhand pass. That forces Niemi to have to go all the way from his left to his right. And a perfectly placed shot by Couturier as he gets his 5th goal of the year. And as I said, first in 11 games to give the Flyers the first goal of the game, and the first time in 12 games on the road that they've scored the first goal this year.
So Couturier with the goal that appeared to perhaps deflect off the diving San Jose defenseman trying to block that shot. And that could have caused problems for Antti Niemi picking up the shot as it deflected. 5th of the year for Couturier. Lawton and McDonald with the assist at the 6-minute mark. And the Flyers, with their very good power play, get on the board first. Now Philadelphia back on the puck in their own zone as it's played across this side for the veteran Nick Schultz. Flyers with 1 win in their last 9 games overall. They've gone 1-7-1. And obviously when you're on the road, this isn't the start of the trip. Officially, they started on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, but certainly the cross-country portion beginning here tonight. Craig Berube has to be happy getting the first goal of the game. And now Matt Reed plays it in front of the San Jose net. Deflecting to the far side, where time again, a former Flyer draft pick traded this past offseason to San Jose, getting a chance to play on a top line. Here is Niemi with a big save off Reed in front, as Reed is another one of those Flyer forwards trying to get off the schneid. Back to the net, Niemi with a save. Brendan Dillon trying to fight off the attack in front by the Flyers, as this one is cleared back out.
Reed only 1 goal in the last 16 games. One of the things Craig Berube needs is this third line with Couturier at center to get some production, take some pressure off the top line.
Flyers had a tough start again this year like they did last season. This year, winless in their first 4 games. Right now, a record of 8-12-3.
We're hoping this California trip kind of turns their fortunes around this year. It did last year. They were 2-1 on their California trip. Then they went on an 8-2 run afterwards.
Tomas Hertl, the second-year Czech forward for the San Jose Sharks, had that remarkable start to his rookie year last season, including a 4-goal game here against the New York Rangers in October of 2013, then suffered an almost season-ending knee injury on a hit by Los Angeles' Dustin Brown. Hertl was able to come back late in the year for the playoffs, but in essence lost half of his rookie year to that injury.
Which is something you look at this year. I mean, this is his first full season playing an NHL schedule against the best players in the world.
Classic for the Sharks. And a good pickup by Steve Mason behind the net. Mason, even though he plays in the East now, has seen plenty of San Jose in his career. Of course, originally drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets and eventually traded. Coburn a shot and the glove save by Niemi. Sean Couturier has Philadelphia in front. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. The San Jose Sharks hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. The first of 2 meetings between these teams from West and East. And right now it's the Flyers on top. This is the 34th all-time meeting between these 2 teams. San Jose with a 15-14-4 mark against the Flyers, as Niemi, busy here in the early going, makes another save there. And now James Shepard will get it back to the veteran defenseman Scott Hannon in his second tour of duty with the Sharks. Tomas Hertl skating on this line with Shepard and Nieto for San Jose. Picked up by the Flyers. Andrew McDonald working it up the ice. Now Zach Rinaldo. He moved up onto this line with Couturier and Reed for tonight's game, as Craig Berube has been shuffling the deck. As Jamie Baker mentioned, Vincent Lecavalier Healthy scratch tonight for the first time in his National Hockey League career, and this is his 16th season. And Berube said it was as tough a decision and as tough a conversation that he had with Lecavalier as they come, and you can imagine.
Well, and Lecavalier said he struggled falling asleep a couple of nights ago once he found out. It's a humbling experience for him. He's trying to figure out what he needs to do to get his confidence back. That's the main thing he's saying is, I need to get my confidence back, use my speed. You know, and Craig Berube, he's challenging his player, Lecavalier, to play a more gritty game, stick his nose in there a little bit more, take the puck to the net, draw penalties. You're not scoring. Somebody with the speed and size of somebody like Lecavalier, he should be able to drawing a lot of obstruction penalties if he's attacking the net.
Lecavalier had 20 goals last year. He has only 2 right now.
He had 4 points in the first 4 games, and he had an ankle injury. And he's kind of struggled ever since coming back from that injury.
Justin Braun, part of this top defense pair for San Jose with Marc-Edouard Vlasic, but right now Braun out there with Brendan Dillon. Wingles for Marleau, and Couture to the right point for Braun. The Minnesota native takes a shot that's blocked by Nicholas Grossman. Now Tommy Wingles trying to thread it through to Dillon, and that was intercepted by Claude Giroux.
Braun, Vlasic out there against the Giroux line. Those 2 defensemen for the Sharks plus 20. And they're playing pretty much against the other team's top lines. All the other defense combined for the Sharks, minus 30. That is a huge difference here on this hockey team.
Schultz and Thornton quickly to recover it for the Sharks, looking for a tip from Joe Pavelski, number 8. Now time again, back to Thornton, who shovels it to the blue line. Matt Irwin, who's been in and out of the lineup for the Sharks on their blue line this year, in the lineup tonight as rookie Mirko Mueller has the night off. Thornton to this side. Pavelski can't catch it, and the Flyers come ahead. Braden Shen now to the far side. Simmons a wrist shot, and Niemi with the save. A rebound that he covers. 9:01 left in the first here in San Jose. Back in San Jose, Jamie Baker with Craig Berube, Flyers head coach.
Coach, yesterday we talked about your players playing better away from the puck. Are you happy with what you've seen so far?
Oh, definitely. I think we're doing a good job in the neutral zone checking and in our own zone. You know, we're on the puck hard. You know, we got numbers on the puck. We're breaking the puck up because of it. So far we're doing a good job, and we're shooting a hockey puck right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Berube's Flyers started 1-7 last year without him. Then the coaching change as Peter Laviolette was replaced by Berube, and he masterfully took them to a 42-30-10 record last season and a playoff berth where they lost in the first round to the eventual Eastern Conference champion Rangers. Now he's trying to get them out of this. Well, it's a little late into the year to call it early season slump as we're into the second quarter of the campaign, and the Flyers have some ground to make up to get back into the postseason conversation. But off to a good start here tonight on a goal by Sean Couturier to get him off the schneid, and the Flyers with a 1-0 lead here in the first period.
Berube's challenging his players to focus on their own jobs, not trying to do too much. Even they thought Voracek and Giroux recently are trying to do a little bit too much. Same thing with guys like Simmons. Just go out, do your job. You understand your role, play it, and try and get some confidence.
Pavelski with a centering pass for McGinn as Joe Thornton can't keep it alive in the corner, and the Flyers quickly come back through the middle of the ice. Braden Shen offside at the San Jose line. Premier League coverage continues tomorrow at 2 Eastern on NBCSN. Chelsea will look to continue their perfection at home as they host Spurs. Chelsea, Tottenham, tomorrow at 2 Eastern on NBCSN.
One of the interesting matchups to watch tonight is going to be this Thornton line. You got the Logan Couture line trying to shut down Giroux's line almost in a defensive role. So it's almost like unleashing the dogs, getting Thornton, Pavelski, and McGinn out there against doesn't matter who. Look for some offensive production from that line.
Thornton shares the team scoring lead with Logan Couture, each with 21 as the centering pass from Simmons. Almost trouble for the Sharks, and the Flyers right back on it. Braden Shen, but now Vlasic will slide it back over to Justin Braun.
Philadelphia doing a good job, as Ruby said, playing away from the puck, but in the neutral zone. San Jose, we've had that one opportunity shorthanded, and a great save by Mason, but otherwise not much coming through the neutral zone. They've been forced to dump the puck in.
An icing call against the San Jose Sharks, as you see Joe Thornton, who last year was the captain of the San Jose Sharks. This year's Sharks team does not have a captain, at least not yet, but as you saw with the A on Thornton's sweater, he is one of the alternates. Joe Pavelski isn't tonight, as they've been rotating those A's around through a group of 4 players, among them Pavelski, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, and Patrick Marleau. That is the captain there, Claude Giroux of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Take a look at Joe Pavelski coming back. Pavelski and Vlasic, this is new, wearing the letters on their jersey. Of course, not new for Thornton and Marleau. Thornton's worn the C and the A here. So is Joe Thornton.
Certainly not common to have 2 former captains in the lineup of the team they're both currently with. There's a one-timer in a dangerous area from Giroux. And that just went wide, as the Flyers have had the majority of the play here in this first period. Right now, 10 for the shots, Philadelphia.
Now, they came in on Saturday. They've had some time to acclimate to the time change and really get on the road, try and do a little bit of bonding after losing 2 straight games to the Rangers. 3 of their last 7 losses have been to the New York Rangers.
Very encouraging for them, too, to get a goal from somewhere other than their top line. Before tonight, in their prior 9 games, just 2 goals had come from forwards not on their top line, never mind their top 2. Couturier on the 3rd line tonight with the goal to get things started here.
2 things Flyers hockey have not done recently: get secondary scoring or score first on the road. They've done both here so far in first.
Chris Van de Velde playing it in. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare out there as well for the Flyers, wearing number 78. Van de Velde 76. Braden Colburn to Nick Schultz. He'll play it off the boards, looking for a carom. Bellemare was there, couldn't pick it up in the slot. Now John Scott with a hit on Bellemare. As Mike Brown jams it up the boards, Andrew Desjardins banks it off the boards and down into the Flyers zone.
Bellemare from Paris, France, signed as a free agent this past June.
Here's Brent Burns, top scoring defenseman for the Sharks, but this shot will ricochet off a Flyers skate and out of play. 1-0, Flyers leading. Both the Sharks and Flyers are franchises that feel they ought to be higher up in the standings than they are right now, and even ownership weighed in over the last 24 hours. Flyers chairman Ed Snyder, the co-founder of the team, says you can't be a one-line team, and he even called out individual players like Couturier, who scored tonight, and named names. San Jose Sharks owner Hasso Plattner, who resides permanently in Germany, took a different stance. He said patience is exactly what is needed now, although Snyder on the other side didn't sound quite as patient.
Different markets too from a scrutiny standpoint, but you can see we're both owners. At the bottom line, if your owners are speaking out, you know that your team has had recent struggles, and that's the case for both San Jose and Philadelphia, not off to the starts they hoped or wanted for.
The Sharks started the season basically on the road, in fact establishing an NHL first. Here's a fight now, and it's Couturier going with Brendan Dillon, and Dillon, the bigger man, going at it with Couturier, whose helmet is already off. So far, the linesman letting them go, and Dillon getting the better of Couturier, but now he responds with a couple of right hands himself, and now the linesman perhaps sensing that there is a mismatch here. Intervene.
Both teams are standing up, giving the old stick tap for the 2 combatants. I'll call that one a draw. And Couturier now, he's just 1 assist away from a Gordie Howe hat trick tonight. It's all over the score sheet. Brendan Dillon gets in his first fight since joining the San Jose Sharks a couple of weeks ago in the trade with Dallas that sent Jason Demers to the Dallas Stars. Craig Berube doesn't mind the odd fight. He's been a few over the years himself. Tom McCall played in the Western Hockey League. He knows all about that too.
Well, Couturier's not small. He's 6'3", 197. And Dillon is 6'4", but he weighs 28 more pounds. He's 225. So that's a tough matchup from that standpoint for Couturier. They pick up 5 each for fighting at 14:58 here in the first period with the Flyers leading. Scott Hannon shooting, gloved and dropped by Mason.
See if that fight kind of gets the Sharks going. They haven't had much going this first period.
Scott Laughton, who picked up his first career point on the Couturier goal. Now it's back to Andrew McDonald, and in this culture of accountability under Craig Berube with the Flyers, McDonald sat out the game on Saturday against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden, despite his being a major acquisition for Philadelphia last year. Watch the NHL on NBC Live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBC Sports/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime.
You see the 2 fourth lines from each team go at it here. Just under 5 minutes left in the first period.
And so far, Todd McLellan and Craig Berube rolling those lines at this point in the hockey game. Still a little over 4 minutes to go in the first. Here's Brown as he scoots down the boards against Schultz, trying to backhand feed it to the front of the net. Then Scott's relay for the point man didn't get there. Umberger comes back across the San Jose line for Philadelphia and lobs one toward the net. Coburn, that's tipped by a Flyer in front. And the Sharks' Marc-Edouard Vlasic will place it on the boards for Scott. Now Andrew Desjardins back across for Justin Braun as San Jose changes on the move. Nice move by Braun to get around Coburn. And his pass deflects out of play over the far side glass.
You know, Justin Braun wasn't sure if he realized that the Sharks forwards were on a change, so he was kind of in no man's land. He did a good job of eating the puck, taking it down deep into the offensive zone, allowing the other Sharks forwards to get on the ice.
Braun leading the Sharks in block shots this year with 43. He's also a plus player on that side of the ledger at +8. Still looking for his first goal of the season from the San Jose blue line as Logan Couture stands in the faceoff circle against Claude Giroux, a matchup to keep an eye on throughout this night. Todd McLellan, the home coach, with the last change, and he wants that Couture line out against the Giroux line. Here is Giroux. Another outstanding start to the season for him, or an outstanding start. Last year didn't start out all that well for Giroux. This year it's been a different story. Trouble for San Jose here as Grossman fires a shot that's just wide.
Well, with Dillon in the penalty box for San Jose, they only have 5 defensemen. Vlasic was just out on the ice, so now you have Burns out there with Irwin against the Philadelphia Flyers top line. Not the matchup the Sharks want.
Flyers on the attack here. Strike in the face-off circle, looks off, plays it back for Giroux. Up top, Grossman, wide on the far side. And Wingels able to interfere with Voracek on the far side as Burns gets a body on Voracek, and a hand pass is called inside the San Jose defensive zone against the Flyers.
Nice job by Wingels with the finishing his check. Wingels first on the team for San Jose. He's got 93 hits. Coming off a career game last game, Tommy Wingels. He's known for his hits and his tenacity out there, but his first 3-assist game and his first 4-point game last game. He was the first star for the San Jose Sharks in that big win over Anaheim.
Now for this face-off, Thornton and Pavelski along with Ty McGinn. As the Flyers attempt to clear, can't. Pavelski chasing it down in the corner. Andrew McDonald there. And Braun shot up high, but Mason will take no chances and hang on with just over 2 to go here in this opening period in San Jose. This is the 5th game of a 6-game homestand for the Sharks, who started on the road 16 of their first 21 games in NHL first, and didn't do all that well on their last 7-game road trip when they went 3-4, and we're hoping to make up for it here at home. But so far, just one victory on the homestand, and that was the win against Anaheim here on Saturday. They'll have one more home game after tonight when Boston arrives on Thursday.
A couple of shootout losses, but a frustrated group here at home, no question.
Thornton in front, wanted Pavelski. That's broken up by Simmons. He lifts it, but not clear. Pavelski back through, and Thornton just turning a fraction of a second late. He'll get it back to the point. Scott Hannon's shot knocked down by Mason.
I saw that all the way.
Flyers looking for a clear here. Schultz couldn't move it out. Thornton has it again. Hannon loads up, shoots, deflects wide. Now McGinn. Tied up by Coburn. Time again trying to find one of his line mates, Pavelski or Thornton. And Philadelphia will move it out of the corner. Here's Simmons, leans back, and his wrist shot missed. Grossman throws it across the rink. Flyers were on a full change. And now Marc-Edouard Vlasic to Brent Burns. Burns pass, broken up right to the stick of Bellemare. He'll send it deep. Niemi out to meet it behind the San Jose net.
Careful of those cross neutral zone passes in the last minute or two of a period. You don't want to give the other team a free opportunity. Well, San Jose has not sustained much pressure in the offensive zone this period. Scotty Hannon picks up the puck, a nice little pivot. His head is up, and you can see him kind of delay, waiting for the Sharks to go to the front of the net. That one unfortunately goes off McGinn's skate. He's not going to get credited with a block shot. Take a look at Scotty Hannon delaying, allowing guys to get the front of the net.
Played in his 1,000th game earlier this season in the nation's capital against one of the teams he played for, the Washington Capitals, originally drafted by the Sharks back in 1997, and left in free agency only to return last year at the trade deadline.
He's a warrior right there. A guy who's adapted to over the years, the speed of the game, how the NHL's evolved and changed his game.
Inside the final minute, Patrick Marleau trying to tie this game, but he can't get through past Giroux. And now Michael Raffl, the Austrian native, eliminated on the boards by Brent Burns, but the puck didn't leave the zone. A kick save off Luke Schenn's bid from the line. Now Voracek in front, and Niemi will cover that. And the Flyers swarming around the San Jose net.
The Sharks have done a good job of containing the top line for the Flyers, but one D-to-D pass, a nice save by Niemi with a big juicy rebound, a second shot and save. Vlasic doing a great job on Voracek in front of the net. We get a good look from the Prism net cam. Taking a look at that. Nice job by Niemi making the save there.
Down under 15 seconds now as Matt Irwin looks up ice for Joe Pavelski. Won't be icing here as Pavelski goes shoulder to shoulder with McDonald for Philadelphia. Bellemare shoots it in, and that'll be the final save of this opening period. Coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report with Catherine Tappan, Mike Milbury, and Jeremy Roenick, Couturier's confidence booster, and the Sabres shocked the Lightning in a shootout. Here in San Jose, after a period, it's the Philadelphia Flyers 1 and the San Jose Sharks nothing on NBCSN. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. A look at downtown San Jose, California. A look at Sean Couturier, who has this game's only goal as we get set for the puck drop of the second period, Jamie Baker.
Well, if you look at the Philadelphia Flyers to my left, I think Coach Berube and his team, they got to be happy with the first period. They got the first goal. They're playing with urgency. To my right, the San Jose Sharks, 41% on faceoffs, 6 shots, 1 scoring chance, maybe 2 scoring chances. They need urgency. They need to play faster. They need to compete much harder as a team.
Among Todd McClellan's 12 forwards in that first period, only Joe Thornton, Logan Couture, and Tomas Hertl registered shots on goal, each of them with 1, while Craig Berube's team pumped 16 shots on San Jose's Antti Niemi. 12 different Flyers had shots on goal in that opening period. Period 2 underway here. In this first meeting of 2 this year, these teams will play again in Philadelphia in March. Tommy Wingels, number 57 for the Sharks. And now Patrick Marleau for Logan Couture. Couture coming off his second 2-goal game of the year here on Saturday in a 6-4 win over Anaheim. As the Sharks have now beaten the Ducks twice, one of the top teams in the West and the Pacific Division, as we look back on Saturday night and Couture's 2-goal effort.
Well, the first one, just a D-to-D pass. Couture gets knocked down in front of the net, has the presence of mind to get right back up. A little bit of a lucky bounce, but those happen. There's another lucky bounce, but you still got to be able to finish. Watch him get his head up and quick release while he's skating. Goes 5-hole. That was a shorthanded beauty by Couture.
Couture's also been a threat on the power play with 10 man advantage points so far this year. 4 power play goals, but so far in this one, San Jose has not had the benefit of power play time. The Flyers have certainly been a disciplined team in the penalty department. 10th as Pavelski gets a quality opportunity on the feed from Thornton, but missed. Now Pavelski, far side for Burns. His shot to the net. Mason's screen may have made that save in traffic. As the Flyers quickly counter down the right wing, it's Voracek. He gets the body on Brendan Dillon, but the puck squirts loose to Burns. Now time again. Traded by the Flyers to the Sharks for a 3rd-round draft pick in next spring's entry draft as Dillon's shot deflects wide. Matt Irwin angling across for the Sharks. McGinn to Thornton off his stick, and the Flyers get it back. And up the ice comes Zach Rinaldo.
San Jose immediately here in the second period trying to get some pucks deep, bang some bodies down low, and kind of get into this game a little bit more from an emotional standpoint and a physical standpoint.
The last time Philadelphia won a game on the road this year was October 22nd in Pittsburgh. That was 7 road losses ago since they last won. Up 1-0 here on the Couturier goal in the first period as Nicholas Grossman lost the puck to Matt Nieto. Nieto gets it back to the net and it deflects off Hertl's skate, and then he's tripped. And now the Sharks will have a power play as Grossman will go to the box.
You know, one of the things you look for your, especially from your 3rd or 4th lines, obviously you want your first 2 to do it too, is to draw penalties. And this is a bad turnover by Grossman down behind the net. Good job by Nieto. Nieto with a little spin around shot, and we're going to see a cross there. There's the trip right there on Hertl. And when you're playing against the 30th penalty killing unit in the NHL, which the Flyers are, and they have struggled as of late, 65% in the last 9 games, you want to draw penalties. The 3rd line does that for the Sharks.
The power play brought to you by Kia. San Jose with the man advantage for the first time. Joe Thornton engineering things for now behind the goal line. Walks it out. Plays it up to the point. Burns one-timer. Mason with the pad save. As Brent Burns let go of that lightning quick from that left wing. Here's Pavelski. His shot blocked. Fire awful. And now back up top again. The Sharks work it to Patrick Marleau. Mason a save. Rebound, and that one's off the post by Couture.
Good execution from San Jose. Low to high, getting shots in the net. Bodies to the net. A couple of good saves by Mason.
Pavelski on the quick re-entry. Marleau, nice skating move. Now Burns gets it flat quickly. Passing to Pavelski. The pivot, the shot, and the save by Steve Mason.
San Jose works the puck up high, right defenseman over to the left. And then it goes down low. We're going to see it up high. Pavelski, you can see him positioning. This is a set play. There's the pivot. Tries to go far side top corner. Mason out at the top of the blue paint. See Pavelski, look at that. His skates pointing in, his stick on the ice. Good execution from all areas there, from Pavelski and from the goaltender, Mason.
6 of Joe Pavelski's 10 goals this year on the power play. Now the second unit on. Matt Irwin, number 52. Down for Wingels. Back to Irwin, and he tried to go middle for Nieto. Tipped out by Couturier. 3 minutes gone in the second period. We're live at SAP Center in San Jose. The Sharks and Flyers, East meeting West, here on this Tuesday night on NBCSN. Randy Hahn with Jamie Baker. We're glad you're along with us wherever you're watching from around the country or around the world tonight. Nieto, and that's gloved down and cleared by the Flyers' Matt Reed.
Good read by Reed.
Now McClellan gets his top unit back on for another shift on the power play. Coming up on 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. As Marlowe's pass broken up, cleared off the stick of Couture and down.
We'll talk to Matt Reed, the undrafted free agent from Bemidji State, about the penalty killing. He said we need to do everything better. It clears, face-offs.
Thornton in front, deflecting, saved by Mason. A scramble in the crease, and the penalty's over. Grossman out of the box. He'll break in alone. Saved by Niemi. Back in front again, and Niemi has it again. This time denying Belmar.
Well, as the penalty was nearing expiration, San Jose gets a couple of pucks to the front of the net. You can see Marleau just sweeping a backhand. A good save by Mason, and what a heads-up pass. And Grossman goes in on a breakaway after coming out of the penalty box. And look at the flexibility in Niemi taking away the bottom part of the net. Grossman's already got 2 goals. He's going for his 3rd. And what a pad save by Niemi.
Antti Niemi with that stretch of the right leg keeps it a 1-0 Flyer lead. As the power play obviously over now, and the Sharks threatened, but so did Philadelphia.
There's definitely more pace to the Sharks game.
Here's Nieto, splits the defense, in alone, and he couldn't get the shot away. That puck rolling on Matt Nieto. Tomas Hertl, he'll bring it around, turns, fires, and he missed the top corner. Braun wants Hertl through the middle, and Tomas Hertl will look back to the blue line, trying to guide it to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Shepard instead ends up with it, and now the Flyers punch it ahead. A chance for Claude Giroux, shadowed by Justin Braun, reversing it to this side of the ice for Jake Voracek. And Vlasic, San Jose's steadiest blue liner this year, able to clear it up the board. Past the 5-minute play mark here in the second period. The Flyers maintaining their 1-0 lead as Mike Brown gets the body, and a big one on the rookie Scott Laughton. And now fists coming together as Brown challenged there by Luke Shen after Brown's hit on the kid Laughton.
Well, Matt Nieto with a real good scoring chance. Get a nice look on this one. Look at the puck. It's just not, he's trying to get it to settle, and it never settles, and because of it, he just ends up fanning on it. How did he get that chance? Speed right through the middle. There he goes. Takes off, sees the gap, and an unlucky break. But good speed, good reaction by Nieto. And there's a nice hit by Brown. A little pushing and shoving after that. He's like, I'm your Huckleberry. He has no trouble. Mr. Brown, he'll drop the gloves if somebody wants, if there's somebody warranted on the other side.
Nieto getting an empty netter. Turned out to be a pretty important one here on Saturday night for only his 2nd goal of the year. His first came in the first game of the year. So Matt Nieto, who had a good rookie season, went through quite a slump here in the first quarter of this year, putting the puck in the net. And obviously the Sharks are hoping, even though it was an empty netter, that he's off the schneid and pucks will start going in again.
Yeah, the BU Terrier alum. Not used to being in a scoring drought like this, but he's been doing a lot of other things away from the play. It's not like his defensive zone play, his penalty killing has been hurt by the lack of production, but he does need to produce, especially if we get some top 6 minutes.
Thornton for time again, and he tried to pass to himself off the boards. It goes on to the San Jose bench. Sunday night is football night. We'll be in San Diego for America's Game of the Week as the Patriots take on the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Bob Costas and Dan Patrick host Football Night in America. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on NBC, the home of Super Bowl 49. Speaking of football and football stadiums, the San Jose Sharks will be in the Coors Light Stadium Series game this coming February 21st when they will host the rival Los Angeles Kings for the first ever outdoor game here in Northern California's Bay Area. And when it comes to rivalries for the San Jose Sharks, none is greater right now than their rivalry with their state friends, the Kings down in Southern California.
Friends. We'll use the word friends, but we don't really mean it.
San Jose with a 3-0 series lead in the opening round of last spring's Stanley Cup playoff opening round, only to have the Kings win 4 straight to take the series as Niemi makes a save. And we will step aside here now with the Flyers still leading 1-0. Back in San Jose, where we go inside the glass with Jamie Baker.
Well, one of the reasons Jake Voracek has had so much success this year is he's playing about 10 pounds lighter. Took the advice of his coach at the end of last season, said, do the same training, but change your diet. He did that. He said he had to cut back on Mama's pasta, which he's done. His same training, same workouts, less food, and 10 pounds lighter. He's faster out there, winning more battles.
Brayden Colburn with a wrist shot that was trouble. If it hit anybody in front, but it sails all the way wide. And it actually feeds the San Jose entry as Pavelski gets it in, but it's right back out again.
Losing weight kind of ruins the wisdom I heard from one of my Toronto Maple Leaf teammates way back in the day. I guess the game's changed. He said, I've seen a lot of guys miss games with pulled muscle. I've never seen anyone miss a game with pulled fat.
Yes, the game has changed. That was back.
I heeded that advice. Now I know what was wrong with my career.
That's when you went to training camp to get in shape. Now if you don't show up in shape, you're probably on your way out. We're live in the first period, or second period here in San Jose. The first goal in the first period, an only goal from Sean Couturier. And the Philadelphia Flyers starting the California portion of their road trip here, and so far so good for Craig Berube and company as they try and end this slump that has seen them win just once in regulation in the last 9.
And one thing this Flyers team, to a man, they said they don't blame Berube whatsoever at all for the way they played. They're taking it personally as players. It's their job to play better with more urgency.
Coburn wanted Raffle on the boards. That gets past him and Braun. And Niemi will come out to swing this rolling puck around to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Marleau, and that'll go all the way down. No icing, so it's handled by Mason. Gets it across to Grossman. He took a hit from Brown. Voracek. His pass blew up, and Brown's able to move it to Desjardins. Bit of a mismatch here in the line configuration, one would think, with the Flyers getting some of their top people out. Voracek, though, at the end of his shift, and now he'll go to the bench as Mason plays it around for Grossman.
The Sharks, I'm sorry, but that still had Vlasic and Braun out there against the top line.
Irwin, that hits Desjardins in the skate, around for Scott Hannon. Hannon into the zone. Check from behind. Nieto will play it across. There's a shot by Desjardins, saved by Mason. Matt Nieto with San Jose in the midst of a line change. Now back to the point. Hannon to the net. And Mason is going to hang on.
Andrew Desjardins gets a pass here from Nieto. And a little inside-out move with a quick release. Easy save, though. Didn't get a whole lot on it. There's the inside-out. Catches Grossman kind of leaning to his left, and Mason has no trouble handling that.
Philadelphia's problems were articulated earlier. Their lack of scoring from lines 2, 3, and 4. The Sharks had hoped to have more production out of their third and fourth line so far this year. Look at them. Simmons with a backhander, saved by Niemi, and he dives out to cover it.
Look at the top line for the Philadelphia Flyers, and that's, I'm including Schenn on it. He's not playing there tonight, but Giroux, Voracek, Schenn, they got 22 goals. The other 11 forwards have a combined 27. So secondary scoring's been an issue for the Flyers. They've got 2 or less goals for in 6 of their last 7 games. The only game was the 4-2 win against Columbus.
Simmons off the draw, shoved to the ice by Dillon of the Sharks. Now Nieto, the Long Beach, California native. But the Sharks unable to enter the zone. Now the pass back to Simmons. Kick save by Niemi. And it pops all the way clear to Tomas Hertl, but his pass for Shepard intercepted.
Good save by Niemi. Good job by the Sharks collapsing to the front of the net, in particular Hertl.
San Jose held to 14 shots so far as we're almost at the halfway point of the hockey game.
Not a lot of scoring chances. When Philadelphia played last Friday at home to the Rangers, the scoring chances were about 6-4. So it was a very, very defensive, methodical game. Rangers ended up winning that game 2-0. Ron Hextall had a meeting with his team in the dressing room after, general manager Ron Hextall.
Now the Sharks with some numbers in the zone, top line, as Thornton's pass for McGinn gets away. And Matt Reed will give chase back into his own zone, and now Nick Schultz with it for Philadelphia. Flyers leading on the goal by Sean Couturier on the power play in the first period as Niemi blockers it aside. Thornton back around, and Vlasic takes a hit from Ronaldo. Flyers trying to get a puck to the net as Reed shoved to the ice by Braun. There'll be a penalty to Justin Braun. They're going to call interference here against the San Jose defenseman.
Braun doesn't like it, but the referee usually doesn't change his mind. We're going to take a look here.
San Jose 61 chooses interference.
That didn't look like much of a penalty to me. I mean, let him play a little bit, I think. Needless to say, Philly goes on the power play for the second time tonight. You go back to that first period. One of the key moments was the Sharks on a 2-on-1. Great scoring chance against the top unit against the Flyers, the top power play unit. Mason with a big save. The second unit for the Flyers ends up coming on, and they are the ones that scored the goal, and that's where we are, 1-0 right now.
Power play brought to you by Kia. The Flyers go to work. Giroux, front of the net, and the shot by Simmons rolled off the toe of his stick, and it's clear.
I'm not sure if Simmons was thinking pass or trying to shoot down there, but Voracek is wide open on the far dot.
Mark Streit, the quick up pass, and now the Flyers on the move through the neutral zone. Giroux to Simmons. Simmons back to the middle. A good read by Wingels, but he failed to clear. Streit back for Claude Giroux. Giroux again. Schenn, the one-timer, didn't get all of it. And Hannon cleared.
Well, Philadelphia with a good zone entry. Picked off the Wingels pass, and they got the chance they wanted in. Schenn right in the mid-slot area, and he just fanned on it.
Desjardins with a steal in neutral ice. He'll attack with it into the Flyers zone. Dumps it behind the net as he's checked hard by Matt Reed. Flyers change the rest of their first power play unit as Simmons takes his seat. Around by Couturier. Vlasic's there for San Jose to Patrick Marleau. And Marleau spots Pavelski open in the zone. And Joe Pavelski is able to chip it deep.
This Flyers power play, if you count the power play goal tonight, now it's power play goals in 5 of 7 games. And part of the reason is good zone entries into the offensive zone.
Here's Reed, another one of the forwards trying to get his scoring touch back. Not this time around as Couture for San Jose slaps it right on net. Reed has just 1 goal in his last 16 games, 17 including tonight.
Couture realized that could have been a 3-on-2, but it would have been with the 2 defensemen for the Sharks, Vlasic and Dillon. And if you take that chance and don't score, you're looking at a real good scoring chance coming the other way.
Penalty's over. Braun out of the box. The puck to him from Couture. Now Wingels skates in. Can't get it to the net. Well defended by Schultz. Bellemare for Philadelphia. And just off the bench in time to break it up was McGinn. But a quick regroup by the Flyers. Bellemare trying to get it to the goal. Out there with Van de Velde. Joe Thornton waiting at center ice. He'll tap it ahead off the glove with Nieto. Braden Coburn, now in his 10th year with Philadelphia, originally drafted by the Atlanta Flames. There he is again in neutral ice, and that one is going to go out of play from Braden Coburn. 1-0 Flyers. We'll be back. Back at SAP Center in San Jose to Jamie Baker with Sharks head coach Todd McClellan.
Coach, you're halfway through the game, trailing Philly 1-0. What do you look for your team the rest of this period and into the third period?
Well, we're going to get a little more energy in our lineup right now. We haven't established a forecheck. We've had opportunities to take advantage of it, whether it's the fight at the end of the period or a couple power plays, and even now a penalty kill. We've got to get some energy going here in our lineup and get a forecheck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Todd McClellan is 20 years as a head coach at the junior level, at the professional level in the American League, and now 7 years into his NHL head coaching career here in San Jose, has never missed the playoffs.
Never missed the playoffs.
And I ought to make a correction right away after that break about Braden Colburn. I was having a flashback there. He was drafted by the Atlanta Thrashers. If he'd been drafted by the Atlanta Flames, he'd be in his 50s, I think.
Yeah, he and Deion Sanders are good friends. Double athletes.
The Atlanta Flames, of course, became the Calgary Flames, and then the Atlanta Thrashers became the Winnipeg Jets.
You see some athletes play football and baseball or basketball and baseball. You don't see many players play hockey and another sport.
Hurdle, and that's kept in. Luke Shen, and then the tip in front. And a good deflection by his brother Braden, knocked down by Niemi. This holiday season, choose from thousands of NHL gifts for all the hockey fans on your list. Only at shop.nhl.com.
I want to send out my thoughts and prayers to the family of Pat Quinn. Coached in Philadelphia for 4 seasons. He had a .630 win percentage. Passed away last week, and his memorial service is going to be this week up in British Columbia. One of the great hockey men and big part of this Flyers franchise.
Impacted so many people in the game over the years, and in fact had a hand in the formation of the San Jose Sharks franchise back in the early 90s when he was the then president and general manager of the Vancouver Canucks, and sent his then assistant general manager Brian Burke here to the city of San Jose to meet with the mayor and the council when they were thinking about seeking ownership for this new building back in the 90s. And thanks to Quinn and Burke, there was a lot of information passed to civic leaders back then. A shot by Dillon, tipped in front. McGinn battling for real estate at the front of the net. So is James Shepard, and it's swept clear to the end boards by Luke Shen, but kept in at the point by Matt Irwin. Here's McGinn, and his pass deflects off Couturier and out.
McGinn, by the way, on the third line right now with Shepard and Nieto, which tells me that Hurdle's going to be up with Thornton and Pavelski. We'll keep an eye on some line changes here for the Sharks. Different line combos.
McGinn heads off the ice as he plays it to Pavelski. He'll jam it around to the corner. Hurdle there, but he can't reach it in time. Flyers come back through center. Wayne Simmons. Self-pass off the boards, offside. Antti Niemi keeping it a 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Let's look at the Metropolitan Division where the Flyers reside, and right now they're outside of the top 3 guaranteed spots held by Pittsburgh, the surprising Islanders, and the Rangers.
They had a great game against the Rangers just over a week ago. Mason had 46 saves in the shutout. They lost 1-0 in the shootout. And that Islanders team seems to be for real. This Flyers team struggled in that game to keep up with the speed in all 3 zones against the Islanders.
Islanders with an overtime win on a Thomas Hickey goal earlier this evening. Glad you're staying up late if you're in the Eastern time zone. Flyers or Sharks fan, whatever the case may be. Live here in the second period with just over 5 minutes to go, and Philadelphia maintaining this 1-0 lead on a first period goal by Sean Couturier.
I have a feeling that next goal will really set the momentum in favor of the team that scores it.
Thornton now with Pavelski and Tomas Hurdle. A line change noted by Jamie Baker a short time ago, with Hurdle moving into that spot that Ty McGinn had been occupying.
He's got 4 points. Last 7 games, a couple of goals, so his game is trending up. Great goal last game against Anaheim.
Pavelski knocked down behind the net, but Braun keeps it for San Jose on the wing. To Hurdle, he'll skate out of the corner and feed up top to Thornton. Thornton shot blocked, And now Simmons attacks, but Thornton angled across to break that up.
It's a good block shot by Philadelphia. Some good work in the offensive zone corner by the Sharks. Looking for that shot on net to create a second or third opportunity. Negated by a block shot.
Fourth line on for San Jose, as is the case for the Flyers. Vlasic on the top D pair with Braun in the corner. Flyers keep it in. From the point, Luke Schenn. And now dumped ahead by Bellemare. Vandervelde has it intercepted as Brown will chip it in, challenging Grossman. Brown takes a shoulder check from big Nicholas Grossman. John Scott able to get the puck back for Desjardins. He'll fight his way to the side of the net. Now to Mike Brown and on to John Scott.
That's the energy that Tucker Paul is looking for right there. You expect that from your fourth line.
Chipped around by Streit, kept in by Burns. His quick attempt at a snapshot denied. Brown, and that's just wide. Cleared out as Scott finishes his check on R.J. Umberger. Back in Desjardins. Almost had a path to the net. Now he'll regroup, send it across for Marleau just off his stick.
A couple of nice moves from Desjardins here in the second period.
He's at the end of a lengthy shift, Desjardins is. Sends it around to this side for Marleau and heads off. Wingels angled off the puck by Grossman. And now it's Bellemare for Philadelphia. And the Sharks chase back into their own zone with under 3 minutes left here in the second period.
Marleau's had a quiet game. He's got 2 goals in the last 20. But another stat that kind of sticks out. He hasn't been plus in the last 10 games. -7 over that stretch. 5 even games and 5 games where he was minus.
Flyers inside the San Jose zone, and it was Braun putting down Raffl. And Braun has it again over to Marleau. Nice pass to Couture with some speed across the line to Wingels. Back for Vlasic, scores! A beautiful passing play by the Sharks, and Marc-Edouard Vlasic ties the game.
The man they call Pickles gets the finish, but it all starts in the defensive zone to the right of your screen. You finish your check and watch the Sharks break up through the neutral zone. Huge gap by the Flyers. One-man change. Vlasic beats his man up ice. And just a perfect pass. Vlasic gets his feet up, gets his head up in time, goes short side. There's a great look at Vlasic in slow motion going over the shoulder of Mason as he joined the rush. But it all starts with a big hit in the defensive zone by Braun. Great passing in the neutral zone by Couture.
Wingels and Couture will get the assist on the third of this season for Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Here he is again, up for McGinn, who's now skating on this line with Shepard and Nieto. Shepard trying to keep it in. Punched from center by Vlasic, back to Shepard. Underneath Ronaldo. Now Braun for McGinn. He'll play it into the corner.
Sharks' fourth line created energy one shift, and then the Couture line comes out the next and ties the game up. Exactly what McClellan was asking for.
Colburn, and that'll deflect off Irwin up into the netting and out of play with 1.5 minutes to go.
Good defense leads to offense. Braun comes in, finishes his man, wins the battle. There's Logan. You see Logan Couture right there. He's the one that, and then he led the play coming into the neutral zone. Vlasic joins the rush. Great job by the gold medal winner last year for Team Canada over in Sochi. And his 3rd goal of the season. Another plus for both Vlasic and Braun. That puts them at combined to plus 22 on the year.
Now we'll see if the Flyers offer a response late here in the period. They're out shooting San Jose 22-17. It's been a more balanced period territorially than the first, which was in many ways dominated by the Flyers. Schenn up through center ice to Schenn. Luke to Brayden. Now Thornton recovers it for the Sharks. A no-look backhand right to the tape of Pavelski's stick. Irwin and a glove save by Steve Mason as the Sharks are coming alive here late in this middle period.
Well, take a look at Joe Pavelski. just attacks in between the D and just soft hands. I mean, it's a subtle little play. You see Irwin, who joins the rush in that situation. A good save by Mason. But Joe Pavelski kind of just showing off his beautiful hands there in that situation. Instead of going one-on-one, you attack the middle between the 2D, and then a nice little soft dish pass creates a scoring chance.
Face-off won by the Flyers, and Colburn clears to center. Under a minute left in the second period here at SAP Center in San Jose. Schultz, and that's denied by Wingels. Awful upended. And now Voracek will chase it down.
Sharks have done a good job of minimizing the scoring chances on the Giroux line. Giroux, Voracek.
Drops for Braun. He'll take a moment to get the puck flat and skate his way out of the forecheck trouble from Giroux.
Nick Schultz and Tommy Wingels having some words on the change here.
Pavelski trying to steer it in off his stick and up out of play with just over 18 to go in this second period of play.
Well, it all started down in the one end. Nick Schultz and Tommy Wingels, as you can see, they're going at it right here. I actually wish I wasn't talking. I could take my headset off and get an idea what they're saying, but now it's Shen stepping in for Grossman. They're talking, but animosity starting to increase. The frustration of both teams. They know the importance of winning this game.
You're literally in the middle of that.
That's a good this is the time. I sometimes overuse the word literally. Right now, that's a good time to use it.
Brendan Dillon's wrist shot wide. And now this will go all the way back into the San Jose zone for icing. So one more puck drop in the Philadelphia zone with 3 seconds left.
One thing you don't always see is the animosity between teams in the East and West. They don't play each other enough. We know we are going to see it against the LAs and the Anaheims, even the Vancouvers, if you will. But it's fun to see. That's what hockey's about. It's about emotion. It's about a passion.
And a shot right off the draw forces Mason to make one last save. And that'll do it for 40 minutes of hockey here in the Bay Area. Coming up on the Discover Card Intermission Report with Catherine Tapp and Mike Milbury and Jeremy Roenick. Sharks' chances lead to a tying goal, and the Canucks stay red hot against the Caps. All that to come after 2 periods here in San Jose. It's the Philadelphia Flyers 1 and the San Jose Sharks 1. The NHL on NBCSN. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by the Discover It Card. It's a game changer. Back in San Jose, let's get caught up with our Head and Shoulders storyline. The Philadelphia Flyers got their goal back in the first period. Some much-needed secondary scoring from players named other than Giroux and Voracek, as Sean Couturier scored, but then Marc-Edouard Vlasic, the outstanding defenseman for the Sharks, with just his 3rd of the year, with the equalizer, setting up what ought to be a very compelling 3rd period here between 2 teams, Jamie Baker, that have a lot at stake here trying to get 2 points.
Well, 2 teams that need the points. They're both on the outside looking in from the playoff standpoint. A lot of hockey left to be played, but they also want to turn recent misfortunes, the way they've been playing as teams, around. San Jose looking for 2 wins in a row. Philly trying to win one and lost 4 in a row.
Since 2002, San Jose has a 12-1-2 record against the Flyers, and here in San Jose, 6-1-1 in their last 8 trips into SAP Center. The Sharks have handled the Flyers quite handily, but it's a new year and a new set of matchups and a tie game here in the 3rd.
And that one regulation loss was the last time these teams met last season here at SAP Center.
Yeah, the team split the season series last year with each winning on the road.
Pavelski getting a hat trick in Philadelphia.
Here's Justin Braun now. We have an injured Shark, and it's Logan Couture.
I didn't see how that happened. It was kind of blocked from my view with a couple of players and a couple of players on the bench, but
I think he collided with Michael Raffl.
I'm going to take a look at Logan Couture in the middle of the screen. Yeah, he's just coming around and, oh, man. They just, neither of them saw each other. Logan Couture was supporting down low, doing everything you're supposed to do, and he took it right in the, looked like right in the face.
Took it in the chin when
Right
it
in the
seemed
chin.
the shoulder cap of Raffles' right shoulder pad, and it simply looked like an accidental collision as Raffles a little shaken after that collision as well.
Yeah, looks like his shoulder's a little bit sore, but I take a sore shoulder over getting hit square in the jaw. Logan Couture went right back to the dressing room. That's got to be a concern for the San Jose Sharks. Todd McLellan's got to juggle some lines now.
So Couture gets looked at, and we continue on here at SAP Center in a 1-1 game in the third period. Matt Nieto trying to move it out. Going to need help from Brent Burns, and now the Sharks come through the neutral zone. Time again. Wide shot saved by Mason. Burns with that long reach, able to keep it in momentarily, but McGinn couldn't keep it in longer. Brendan Dillon wristing it in from center off a Flyer stick. That hit Mark Stright's stick, and Mason had to be alert to stop that puck.
Both coaches have been rolling all four lines. Philadelphia plays in Anaheim tomorrow night. San Jose starting a stretch where they play 4 games in 6 nights, but Todd McLellan might be forced to shorten his bench here, maybe even go with 3 lines.
Kind of an odd trip for Philadelphia. They've been in the Bay Area since Saturday night after their day game at Madison Square Garden. Back-to-backs here tonight and in Anaheim tomorrow, and then they don't play LA again until Saturday. So they'll have Thursday and Friday off in Southern California amidst potentially all-time record rainfall for Southern California. They won't be using their swimsuits on this trip. And that's for sure at the end of it in Columbus.
That's probably part of the plan, is do some team bonding. Have to do it indoors.
John Scott working behind the Philadelphia net. To Vlasic, the Sharks goal scorer at the side. Mike Brown's backhander hit the outside of the cage. And it's cleared out by Braden Shen. Quickly back to Brown for San Jose, and he'll wrist it deep.
Sharks' fourth line intact. So we'll keep an eye on who's going to replace Logan Couture, still back in the Sharks dressing room.
Luke Shen settling it and shoveling it across to Andrew McDonald. Back to Shen and in, and now a chance for Philadelphia, and a kick save off the Belmar shot by Niemi. Kept in by the Flyers. Vlasic again under some pressure on the back check from Voracek. Vlasic to a scoring area and then off his stick and rimmed around by Claude Giroux.
There's no reason for the Flyers defense to back in that much. They had 2 forwards back. Vlasic walked all the way from his own end into the offensive zone.
Icing called here against Philadelphia. A little over 3 minutes into this third period. Claude Giroux kept off the scoreboard. In fact, that top line tonight of Raffles, Giroux, and Voracek kept in check by the San Jose Sharks thus far, but that's another thing to watch now as Marleau lines up at center in place of the temporarily missing Logan Couture. That line's done a good job shutting down this line with Couture there. Can they keep doing it?
Well, a lot of the points they have had that line is on the power play. Giroux's only got 1 even strength goal this season.
Coburn behind the net. Burns with a stick on it as Raffl wanted Voracek behind the goal again. Coburn sends it back to the cage. Raffl centering it, and it's broken up, and Tommy Winkles will skate it out.
That was a really good defensive play by Patty Marleau. Flaps down low and got his stick there. Broke that pass up. Would have been a good scoring chance for Philly.
1-1 live here in the third period in San Jose. As Brent Burns pumps those big legs, gets there for the icing call. And back into the Flyer zone, it'll go for the faceoff. Burns, as we said, Sharks' leading scorer on defense. For a while, he led the team. Burns with 19 points on the season, 7 goals.
Tied for 4th in the NHL from a defenseman standpoint in points. Tied for 2nd in goals with 7. Leads the Sharks team in ice time, 23 minutes, 20 seconds. That's one of the benefits of having Brent Burns on defense. He's averaging almost between 7 and 8 more minutes a game of ice time. Got a player that skilled, that passionate out there. You want him out there more.
Pavelski gives for Thornton. He'll wrist it in. Mason slows it down for Schultz. And out of the reach of Justin Braun. That'll be another icing against Philadelphia.
That's the top line. Stuck out there for Philly. Giroux kind of upset with himself a little bit. He's out there with Matt Reed. And Voracek. Voracek, believe it or not, he has a point in every game the Flyers have scored this year, except the 4 times they've been shut out. He's already had 11 multiple-point games. I mean, he's had a multiple-point game, but he's done that in 7 of the 8 wins for the Flyers. And the Sharks have held him off the scoreboard tonight.
Coming off a career year, Voracek, and looking like he might do that a second straight year. Began the night second in the NHL in scoring. Couturier, the lone goal scorer for the Flyers, sends it in. Umberger takes a hit from Braun. Joe Thornton at center ice looking to control. Can't. And it's fed back in by the Flyers. Braun there lined up by Reed. Sharks move it out. But now Mark Streit able to get it back again for Philadelphia.
Good forward play though by the Sharks. And a good job in the neutral zone by Philadelphia, forcing a bad pass.
Couturier circles the net, placing it in front. McGinn tripped up. Fans wanted a call. Play continues as McDonald hands it to Schenn. Braden Schenn, nice skating move against Irwin. Plays it to Simmons, hits the post and drops to the glove of Antiniemi. And Wayne Simmons, looking up to the heavens, almost gave the Flyers the lead.
Well, Wayne Simmons, 1 goal in the last 9, but a nice play by Schenn. And Simmons just comes out, he fights off 2 players, and actually that deflected. But look at the strength of Wayne Simmons right there. As he's falling, releases the puck. I think that might have deflected off Burns, who's doing a good job of boxing out the Flyer forward, allowing Niemi to come out to the top of the blue paint and make that save. Wayne Simmons drafted by the Kings in 2007. He was 2nd rounder, 61st overall.
8 goals this year for Simmons so far. In his 7th season now. Had 29 goals to lead Philadelphia in goal scoring last year. Simmons again on that entry pass to the rookie Lawton. Lawton a star for Team Canada at the World Juniors last year. And here he is. Lawton, the fake. Lawton takes it around the net. Still with it. Up top. And Schenn lost the puck. Here's a chance for Andrew Desjardins. On a breakaway. And his backhander denied as Mason hung in there. And Desjardins couldn't get the shot on goal.
We were talking about doing everything right, but finishing.
Now Desjardins again wanted Marleau behind him. And Schultz will play it to the boards. But Braun sends it right back in for San Jose. Well, that's twice tonight the Sharks have had breakaways that have not resulted in shots on goal. Earlier, Nieto, and there, Desjardins.
And he's frustrated on the bench. Good effort. He beat Schenn in the race, deep to the one side, and all he had to do is tuck it home and just missed.
John Scott
had a wide open net. He's frustrated with himself.
Flyers with it in San Jose territory. Braun digging in against Van de Velde. Chris Van de Velde, tight turn. He and Braun with a great battle in the corner along the boards. Van de Velde back on it again. Changing shot sides to Schultz. Off the boards intentionally. Van de Velde, tough to handle back there. Braun shadowing him again. Back to the line. Colburn shot. Niemi the save. And Scott will clear for San Jose. And they will say no icing here, so both teams change on the fly.
Well, the intensity is being matched by both teams here in the 3rd period. We're getting some good looks, good scoring chances at both ends. What a good tilt here tonight at SAP Center between 2 desperate teams, Philly and San Jose.
Hurdle turned it over to Giroux. Jake Voracek as this crowd getting more and more vocal deeper and deeper into the third. Raffl steering it to the boards. Irwin sends it around. Still no sign of Logan Couture since that collision with Michael Raffl earlier in the period. Now to the line, and Raffl nowhere to go as he was pinned by Irwin. And Brent Burns now quickly moving it through the neutral zone to Nieto. Nieto gets across the Philadelphia line, cuts to the inside, and nowhere to go there against McDonald. As a save made by Mason, he'll hold on with Wingels looking for a rebound. Andrew Desjardins, oh so close. Andrew Desjardins, 1 goal on the season. Had a great opportunity for a second. He plays with a lot of intensity, Jamie Baker.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he brings it every night. He's just a north-south player and takes it personally when he gets a breakaway and misses. He missed one last game. That's, if you go to Twitter, that's called hashtag fourth line problems right there. You don't get many good scoring chances. You want to capitalize when you do get them.
Desjardins, an undrafted free agent out of the Ontario Hockey League, played in Laredo, Texas, played in Phoenix in the East Coast League, and joined the Sharks organization, playing in Worcester, Massachusetts, and the last 4+ seasons now here in the NHL in San Jose.
Isn't that the story of great story right there about perseverance, never giving up? Central Hockey League, East Coast Hockey League, American Hockey League, NHL.
From Lively, Ontario, which sounds like a fun town. Jake Voracek dropped past the one-timer by Raffl, saved by Niemi. He didn't get all of that, but still a tough save for San Jose's goalie as Patrick Marleau comes right back the other way and is denied by Andrew McDonald. Here is Raffl again for Philadelphia, and he's put down by Tommy Wingels.
We saw a good toe save from Niemi and then a nifty little alley-oop pass from Vlasic, and great hands by Marleau, kind of tipping it out of the air.
McDonald signed to a rich 5-year contract by the Flyers after acquiring him from the New York Islanders. Braden Colburn sending it to this side as Philadelphia tries to regain some traction here in the third period. This one's out of play onto San Jose's bench. Wednesday night rivalry is on NBCSN. David Backes leads the Blues against Jonathan Toews and the Blackhawks in the Battle of the Midwest. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on NBCSN. Wednesday night rivalry, the night you love to hate.
Well, I don't know if he's ready to play, but big news out of St. Louis is Martin Brodeur signed a 1-year contract.
Here's Scott Hannon for San Jose. Joe Thornton behind the Flyer net as the Sharks tied it on a Marc-Edouard Vlasic goal in the second. And now this tight game up for grabs here in the third period in San Jose. This will be icing against Philadelphia, and they've had good 5 or 6 of those so far in this third period halfway through.
Well, I talked to head coach Craig Berube yesterday. He said, in this league, you need to play defense. He stressed it with his team. We got to play much better away from the puck. And I'd have to say tonight, he's got to be happy with the performance. Yeah, there was the one breakdown that the Sharks capitalized. But Sharks, you know, a team that scored 6 goals last game, they have not had a plethora of scoring chances tonight. And that's because of the play of this Philadelphia Flyers team.
Grossman cut off by Pavelski. Joe Pavelski maneuvers around the much bigger Sean Couturier. Wheels it up top for Brendan Dillon to Brent Burns. Back for Dillon. He loads up and didn't get much on that one.
Well, he had his head up when he was taking a shot and he ended up towing it.
Dillon playing in his 4th game tonight as a Shark since his trade from Dallas for Jason Demers.
He's got a few practices under his belt. Talked to Brendan Dillon about what it takes to adjust to a new team. Is it harder to learn the terminology, the systems, or getting used to new players? And he said easily it's getting used to the new players, just the different habits and that. Terminology somewhat similar. Systems are kind of similar. He's just trying to get comfortable out there and then not have to think, play on instincts.
Niemi setting it up and then decides to hang on for a whistle. We will step aside. A 1-1 tie halfway through the third. Let's look at the Pacific Division standings where the San Jose Sharks reside. Top 3 guaranteed playoff spots. And right now Calgary with 34 points has that position as the Flames won again tonight.
Yeah, they're the surprise, one of the surprises of the Western Conference. I'm not as surprised about Vancouver. This is a rebound year. You know, it didn't go well with Tortorella last year. They got to have a good hockey team. They got Miller and Nets, but Calgary, that's a surprise.
Until the Sharks can gain ground on the Flames, they're going to be in the wild card hunt, and they started this day 2 points out of a wild card spot, out of the 8th playoff spot in the West.
Calgary beat the Sharks on Thanksgiving Eve 2-0, and San Jose has an opportunity to redeem themselves this upcoming Saturday in Calgary.
But before that, they host the Boston Bruins here on Thursday. Burns, and now the Flyers with a turnover. Scott Laughton, and that's intercepted by Shepard. Desjardins didn't get it past Wayne Simmons, who's checked by Shepard. Here's Simmons now back into his own zone for McDonald as the Flyers try and find a way to get a go-ahead goal here in the third. And that one from McDonald is going to come back on another icing call against Philadelphia.
Hit a grenade as it left his stick there, just blew up on him, so it's going to be icing. San Jose takes the opportunity to get the Thornton line out there.
McDonald, as we mentioned, healthy scratched on Saturday at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers, and Craig Berube told us today, of course he had a chat with McDonald, explained the move. McDonald saying today he can't remember ever being healthy scratched in a game in a long time, if ever. And then Berube, after the talk and a couple of days to think about it, puts McDonald back in, and that's the way you do it with your top players when you make the decision to sit them.
You know, he's sending a message, Berube is. It doesn't matter who you are, what your accolades are, what your salary is. We expect certain things from you as a player. You don't do it, we'll cut your ice time, or we'll make you watch the game from the press box.
A culture of accountability.
That's exactly what he's building.
And no one knows that more tonight than Vinny Lecavalier. Scratched for the first time, healthy scratched in his career. Matt Irwin, a wrist shot, rebound, chance for Hurdle, and it went over the net high. Couturier will bank it off the glass and down. Hannon gives chase. So only the 7th combined shot of this period, that one by Hannon. San Jose with 4 shots, or Philadelphia with 4 to San Jose's 3 here in this third period. It's been a very tight period in what's been a tight game. Not a whole lot of wide open end-to-end stuff.
Well, you got two teams that were desperate, but also using the word inconsistency to their game, looking for more consistency.
Mason able to get that all the way up the board. Streit nowhere to go thanks to Justin Braun. Now Streit sends it up the boards for Raffl. Down out of his glove, picking it up is Giroux. Far side shot, tip in front by Voracek, but it wouldn't go to the net. That one did from up top. Saved by Niemi. In front again, Raffl saved Niemi. And the rebound played to the glass, but not out. Mark Streit for Claude Giroux. And Braun will work it up for Wingels. And San Jose able to clear the zone and get a partial change here.
Couple good saves there by Niemi, just taking away the bottom part of the net. Streit with a good pass, redirect opportunity.
Time again back out there. Still no sign of Logan Couture since the collision with Michael Raffl. And we have to assume now, with the absence of Couture for some time now, that he may be done for this night.
It's definitely a concern that will carry over past the post game. See the health of Logan Couture, one of the bright young stars for this hockey team.
He was hospitalized on Saturday, day of the game, with a swollen eye, and ended up coming out of the hospital that day to play what Todd McClellan said was his best game of the year. He had 2 goals on 5 shots and almost 58% on faceoffs in San Jose's 6-4 win over Anaheim. Palmieri over to the other side for Colburn. Now back across here, and the one-timer by Palmieri goes wide.
Phillies had the offensive zone time here the last few shifts.
Belmary again punching it into the corner. Burns is there first. He'll flick it off the boards, but right back at the point, it's sent ahead by Schultz. Now to Coburn for the Flyers. Back to Nick Schultz. He lines up, gets a shot away. Belmary saved by Niemi. Shepard trying to clear the rebound, and with help from Burns, they do.
Well, that was just a smart shift from Belmary. Set a couple of soft picks. Meanwhile, Dillon did a good job in front of the net, tying up the forward for the Flyers, not allowing a second opportunity.
Here's Thornton. Hurdle, backhand, saved by Mason. Irwin back on the left point for Thornton. His shot blocked, but Hannon able to keep it in. Down for Pavelski, surrounded by Flyers defenders. Thornton, now Hurdle, to the net. And Irwin has to back up. Here comes Simmons with speed for Philadelphia. Wayne Simmons! And the puck steered away as the net comes off. And it's still a 1-1 game. Chances at both ends of the ice. We're down to crunch time here in San Jose.
Well, we said that Tomas Hertl's game was trending up. He scored last game, and got to win battles in the corner and tack the net. Look at him, established body position, gets the puck from the backhand of the forehand, tries a little wraparound. Nice stick save by Mason. Meanwhile, Simmons, he comes down that right side as a right-hander shot, just using his speed. And that's attacking the net at both ends. Two good scoring chances, two good saves. One by Mason, one by Niemi.
Wayne Simmons trying to get back on the score sheet as well. 1 goal in his last 9 games coming into tonight. Although he does have 8 on the season, but lately they haven't been going in the way they did earlier. Steve Mason reversing it to Mark Streit. And we're down to 4.5 left in regulation in a tie game. Chance here for Reed, but off his stick courtesy of Shepard. And Desjardins steers it McGinn's way. Sent in by Umberger. Dillon back defensively, shoved by Couturier to Desjardins now for San Jose.
Umberger, another Flyer that is expected to score more after spending 6 years in Columbus. He's back here in Philly, and he has no points since the last 16 games.
Back come the Flyers up ice. Lawton knocked off the puck. Here's a break for Wingles down the right wing side. Tommy Wingles off the glove of Mason, and it bounced wide.
It was a back check that created a turnover by Patty Marleau. Good speed by Wingles. Created that scoring chance.
Braden Shen across the ice wants Simmons. Vlasic back for San Jose. Nieto off his skate, but then a cute pass to Wingles. Marleau for Tommy Wingles. No one in front. Sharks were making a change. And it's lobbed back in by Lawton. Niemi, the catch and release. Well, like the early game between Tampa and Buffalo, we're 1-1 here in the third.
Late in the third.
Grossman. Now Thornton gets it to the side, but Pavelski can't get it to the net. And quickly now Giroux comes to center for Philadelphia. That'll bounce off the right pad of Niemi.
Good force by Dillon in the neutrals when he realized Giroux was all by himself, forcing him to dump the puck in.
Voracek with a good back check gets it away from Thornton, and the Sharks go offside. Well, upcoming games on NBCSN and elsewhere. Beginning tomorrow night, Wednesday night rivalry, St. Louis and Chicago, 7 o'clock Eastern. And the coverage beginning with NHL Live. Then Thursday, Dallas takes on the Red Wings on the NHL Network. And then back here next Tuesday, the LA Kings and the Buffalo Sabres on NBCSN. We come up on 2.5 minutes left in regulation here at SAP Center. Goals by Sean Couturier for Philadelphia and Marc-Edouard Vlasic for San Jose have us in a 1-1 tie.
The top line for both teams have been shut down so far.
Chance here for the Flyers. Niemi looking for the puck. It goes back to Braden Shen.
credit to both teams. There has been very little, if any, second or third opportunities off rebounds tonight. It's been one and done at both ends for both teams.
Brent Burns drops it to the centerman, Desjardins. Burns looking for Marlowe, who is on this line and up the middle. Here's a 3-on-1 Philadelphia. Braden Colburn shoots, saved by Niemi. Rebound wide off the stick of Umberger.
Brent Burns cannot throw that puck from behind the opponent's net blindly into the slot area when you're a defenseman. At any time, let alone in a 1-1 game in the last 2 minutes. That's a bad mistake. He got away with one with a great save by Niemi.
Hannon. With Couturier in on the forecheck. Nice play by Hannon to Tommy Wingels. He'll get it deep. Off the stick of Streit. A high touch called. And let's look at that last opportunity for the Flyers.
Philly takes that turnover opportunity. They go in 2-on-1. Good job by Scotty Hannon taking away the passing lane. And you can see Colburn. He comes in. He's not used to being on 2-on-1s. You got a defenseman who jumps up there and tried to get the puck to the far side over the shoulder, the right shoulder of Niemi. Good scoring chance by Colburn. Great job by Colburn jumping up into the play, recognizing that there was open ice in front of him, didn't force a pass, and he got a good scoring chance because of it.
Antti Niemi, who won his Stanley Cup with the Chicago Blackhawks against Michael Leighton and the Philadelphia Flyers back in 2010. And tonight, I don't think there's any question that Niemi has been San Jose's best player. 28 saves as we come up on 1 minute remaining in regulation. 1 minute left to play in the third. Flyers with their top line off. Mishandled at the blue line. And McDonald, and it comes back into Philadelphia territory as Grossman chases it down. And now Giroux, Raffl, and Voracek will come off as the second line with Schenn, Laughton, and Simmons comes on. Laughton for Schenn. Schenn behind the San Jose net. Brayden Schenn. And a San Jose stick knocks it back to center ice. Quickly relayed back up onto Schenn's stick. Broken up by Nieto. And now here's a breakaway for Patrick Marleau. In on goal. Saved by Mason. Open net. They score. It is Matt Nieto. And San Jose takes a 2-1 lead with 11.5 seconds to go.
Matt Nieto, goals in 2 straight games. He started it all. In the neutral zone, keep an eye on 83. Breaks up the play, kicks it twice, throws it. Marlowe's it. Now Nieto's way back. Remember where Nieto is. There's Wingle, and here comes Matt Nieto to finish it up. And that is why you get your body up into the play. He uses his speed, uses his backhand, and Nieto has goals in 2 straight. And you can see the collision that took Mason out. So that's a bad break from the Philadelphia Flyers standpoint.
This goal is under review, and there definitely was contact at the net between Marleau and Mason, but Braden Colburn was also there and made contact with his own goaltender. They're going to check to see if this is a good goal.
And here's the shot and the save. What a good look from behind. And there's a collision. I couldn't really tell. It was both Marleau and Colburn were right there. There's the shot by Marleau. It was actually, sorry, Tommy Wingels.
Yeah.
And you see where the collision was. It was in the white area. Like it was outside the blue paint. What's the left pad?
The ruling is good goal.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
And San Jose has a lead at 19:48 of the third period.
From Nieto, that's a great goal. That's a heartbreaker for this Philadelphia Flyers team. They haven't lost 8 in a row on the road since 1988.
Flyers net's empty. They've got to hurry. Puck played to the Sharks net. And that'll go off the outside of the goal and down the ice for icing. That'll force Mason back into the net. And that should do it for this game with 4.1 seconds left. And Matt Nieto stands to be the hero here with this late goal in the third.
He started the play with that standing up just outside the Sharks blue line. It created the turnover that ended up sending Marleau in alone. What a dejected, frustrated Flyers bench it is right now. From the coaches to the players to the trainers. They're so close, trying to win on the road. They scored the first goal. Couturier with the goal. They got some secondary scoring. They played much better defensively and away from the puck. They battled hard. And they're 4 seconds away from losing the first game on their California road trip.
On the face-off behind the net, and this one is over. And a late goal by Matt Nieto beats Steve Mason and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Sharks salute this crowd at SAP Center. That is it for us in San Jose. Sharks 2, Flyers 1. That's the final. For Jamie Baker, I'm Randy Hahn. We'll turn it back to our studios and Catherine Tappan.